January 17. 86. B.C. Caius Marius, the Roman consul, died. He was the son of a farmer in indigent circumstances, but by his talents and energy raised himself to the highest dignity of the greatest state in the world. 395. The Emperor Theodosius died at Milan, soliciting his heirs faithfully to execute his will. 1009. Abd-el-Malek, a Moorish prince, crucified by his conqueror. 1380. An Act of Parliament passed, by which foreign ecclesiastics were incapacitated from holding benefices in England. 1467. John Castriotto, or Scanderbeg, Prince of Albania, died. His father placed him as a hostage with the Sultan of Turkey, by whom he was educated in the Mohammedan faith, and at the age of 18 placed at the head of a body of troops. He afterwards deserted to the Christians, and on ascending the throne of his fathers renounced the Mohammedan faith. He obtained repeated victories over the Turks. After his death, when Albania submitted to the Moslem dominion, the Turks dug up his bones, which they wore to transfer his courage to themselves. 1524. Verrazzano sailed from a desolate rock near Madeira, with 50 men and provisions for 8 months, arms, munitions and other naval stores, on his voyage westwardly, expecting to reach Cathay. 1546. Martin Luther preached his final sermon at Wittenberg. 1556. Philip Nerli, the Florentine historian, died. 1684. Wentworth Dillon, Earl of Roscommon, died at Rome. The early part of his life was spent in dissipation, but he afterwards conducted with more discretion, and became distinguished among the wits of the day. Johnson calls him the most correct writer of English verse before Dryden. 1694. A powder magazine of 218 barrels exploded at Dublin, doing much damage. 1701. Roger Morris, an English chaplain, died, aged 73. He was a diligent collector of ecclesiastical manuscripts relating to the history of the English Church, whereof, says Strype, he left vast heaps behind him. 1705. John Ray, an English naturalist, died. He was the son of a blacksmith, received a liberal education at Cambridge, and devoted himself to science and literature. His publications were numerous. 1706. Birthday of Benjamin Franklin. 1733. George Byng, an English admiral, died. He entered the Navy at the age of 15, and gradually rose to the highest honors and distinctions. 1746. Battle of Falkirk, in which the forces of the Pretender were victorious over the Royal Army. 1750. The singular ceremony of the Greek Church of consecrating the water in memory of Christ's baptism, performed at St. Petersburg. 1766. Frederick V, King of Denmark and Norway, died. 1781. Battle of the Cowpens, in South Carolina, and defeat of 1,100 British under Tarleton, by an inferior force of Americans under Morgan, and wounded, and 500 prisoners, 800 muskets, 2 field pieces, 35 baggage wagons, and 100 dragoon horses fell into the hands of the conquerors. Was 12 killed and 60 wounded. 1783. Action between the British frigate Magician and the French frigate Sibylla. The latter lost her masts, and was captured a few days after by the Hussar. 1789. John Ledyard, the traveler, died. He was born at Groton, Connecticut, 1751, entered Dartmouth College at the age of 19, but for some reproof resolved to escape. Accordingly he felled a tree on the bank of the Connecticut, of which he constructed a canoe, and descended the river 140 miles to Hartford. Studied theology a while, and then enlisted as a common sailor for a voyage to Gibraltar. Accompanied Captain Cook in one of his voyages, of which he published an account. Not meeting with assistance to prosecute any of the daring enterprises he proposed, he finally determined to make the tour of the globe from London east, on foot, as far as Yakutsk in Siberia, when he was arrested by order of the Queen as a French spy and hurried back to the frontiers of Poland, says, disappointed, ragged, penniless, but with a whole heart. He had scarcely taken lodgings when Sir Joseph Banks proposed an African expedition. He accepted the offer and proceeded as far as Cairo, where he was attacked by a disease which carried him off. 1789. Charles IV proclaimed King of Spain. 1791. Lord Dungarvan, an Irish peer, was tried at the Old Bailey, London, for stealing 3.5 guineas from a poor woman in town, but was acquitted. 1792. George Horne, Bishop of Norwich, died. His sermons and commentary on the Psalms are well known. 1795. The stadtholder, William V, obtained permission from the States General to withdraw from Holland. 1800. The church at Chelmsford, England, fell. It was first built in 1424. 1804. Charles Nisbet died, aged 67. He was a Scotch clergyman, and the first president of Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. 1806. An iris or lunar rainbow was seen for 1 hour 9¼ to 10¼ at Wakefield in Yorkshire, England. 1810. Masquerades and masked balls prohibited by the authorities in the city of Philadelphia. 1811. The Mexican patriots under Hidalgo totally defeated near Guadalajara by the Spaniards under Calleja. 1813. Capture of the United States brig Vixen, 12 guns, Captain Henley, by the British frigate Narcissus. 1815. The King of Spain issued an edict against Freemasonry. 1817. At Philadelphia and Albany the singular phenomena of snow, clear weather, rain, snow, thunder and lightning, hail and snow, was observed in succession. 1836. 2 engagements in the mountains of Arlban, between the forces of the Queen of Spain under Jean Cordova and the Carlists, in which the latter were defeated. 1841. Risen P. Bowie died at New Orleans, aged 48, well known in the Southwest by his many deeds of valor in its early history, among the Mexicans and savages. 1851. Spencer Compton, Marquess of Northampton, died, aged 61. He was president of the Royal Society, was associated with Wilberforce in the anti-slavery cause, and with Mackintosh as a criminal law reformer. 1854. 2 railroad bridges and crossings at Erie, Pennsylvania, destroyed by a mob of women, who were afterwards escorted through the town with banners, headed by a band of music. 1856. Zadok Thompson died, aged 59, author of several historical works relating to Vermont, and a naturalist.